Meni je životni cilj da budem najbolji na svetu i znam da sam relativno sam blizu ostvarenja tog cilja, međutim ne želim da se opterećujem u tom pogledu jer
Monte Carlo is known as a playground for the rich and famous, and it's also where many of the world's top tennis players have based themselves over the years. In December 2008, Novak had been living and training here for 3 years. Its tax-free status is motivation in itself to live in Monte Carlo. But Novak had also relocated here because his growing popularity in his native Serbia was starting to overwhelm him.
Ovdje je jako mirno i jako mi se sviđa ovo mesto zato što imam svoju diskreciju, imam svoju privatnost, niko me ne uznemirava i stvarno živim jedan normalan život i logično je pomisliti da naravno hoću da provodim što više vremena kući, međutim u ovom trenutku to za mene nije moguće, ali eto, nikad ne znam gdje će me životni put odvesti.
At this stage of his career, a 21-year-old Novak was already one of the brightest talents in the tennis world. He was the reigning Australian Open champion and was being tipped to be a future world #1.
Nadam se da će biti još takvih turnira u mojoj karijeri. Tek mi je 21 godina i sigurno da imam još mnogo vremena. Imam jako dobre ljude oko sebe. Uvek sam težio ka tome da ostvarim jedan profesionalan tim ljudi koji će isto moći da me podržava van terena koliko i na terenu i nadam se da će to funkcionisati i u budućnosti.
Novak trained at the Monte Carlo Country Club. He was being coached by former Slovakian professional Marian Vajda, who stayed with him throughout his career. Novak often practiced with fellow professional Mario Ancic of Croatia. Mario was also based here in Monaco, and the two were good friends.
Pa znamo se praktički od početka naših karijera. On je došao nekoliko godina nakon mene, ali sam pratio njegov razvoj i stvarno je napravio fantastičnu, iz godine u godine strahovito napredovao i evo u ovom trenutku Novak ima sve mogućnosti, ima briljantnu igru i odličnu bazu iza sebe i obitelj koja ga prati, prema tome maksimalno je fokusiran na tenis i definitivno ima potencijal da bude ono što želi.
The environment where Novak was living and training was a far cry from the one in which he spent his formative years. He grew up in the Serbian capital, Belgrade, during a time of war and economic instability. As a boy, Novak sheltered with his family from the daily NATO bombing raids of 1999.
Naša zemlja je prošla kroz mnogo poteškoća ekonomskih i političkih, a i životnih u posljednjih 20 godina i ljudi su malo isfrustrirani i ja sam svega toga svestan. Ja pokušavam na neki način, naravno, prvenstveno sebe predstavljam u svetu kad god se pojavim i kad god osvojim neki veliki turnir, napravim neki veliki uspjeh, ali naravno i predstavljam i svoju zemlju i sav taj narod koji je u Srbiji, koji podržava redovno i prati te turnire. Tako da na neki način mogu da im se odužim za sve ono što sam doživeo u svom detinjstvu.
It was in the aftermath of the bombing raids of 1999 that Novak left Belgrade. He was 12 when he moved to Germany to attend a tennis academy on the outskirts of Munich. After returning home, following his 3 years in Germany, Djokovic turned professional at 16. At this stage of his career, the young Serb had his sights set on overhauling Roger Federer and Rafael Nadal at the top of the world rankings.
Želim jednostavno da budem realan. Trenutno ispred sebe imam 2 igrača koji su bolji od mene i ja ću pokušati na sve moguće načine da se dopregnem barem jednog stepenika više u narednoj godini. Da li će do toga doći ili ne, ne znam, ali ima još dosta vremena i kažem, još ima dosta elemenata u mojoj igri na kojima moram da poradim i to je ohrabrujuća okolnost za budućnost.
Novak was living in Monte Carlo with his then girlfriend Jelena, who would go on to become his wife. The pair met in Belgrade in 2003, and they often returned home to Serbia whenever Novak's hectic schedule allowed them to do so. Novak had just recently helped establish an ATP Tour event in Belgrade.
Posebno mi je drago što smo uspjeli da se izborimo za jedan ATP turnir koji ćemo održati u Beogradu u maju 2009. godine. I tu će svi ljubitelji tenisa u Srbiji, a i šire u tom regionu imati prilike da vide kako to zaista izgleda na profesionalnom nivou i moći će da podržavaju naše tenisere.
Away from tennis, Novak's big passion in life remains football. His father was a professional footballer, and Novak believed that he could have made the grade too.
Kad god nisam na terenu, gledam da uživam u onome što radim, da uživam u životu, iako moj život mora da bude, ajde ne 100%, ali 90% posvećan tenisu.
Novak's favourite football team is Red Star Belgrade, but since he'd been living in Monte Carlo, he'd adopted AS Monaco as his second club.
Jednostavno, mislim da sa osmehom i sa tom pozitivnom energijom se duže živi i lakše se živi nego što se živi sa nekim drugim, izrazom na licu. Mislim da se svaka osoba razlikuje u svom karakteru, iako i svako ima izbor u životu da radi ono što misli da je najbolje za njega. Ja sam izabrao tenis jer mislim da je to ono što najbolje radim i da me to izvelo na jedan zdrav put, da vodim zdrav život i da ću imati dosta uspeha i već sam imao dosta uspeha do sada.
Novak would go on to become a tennis superstar. He succeeded in loosening Rafael Nadal and Roger Federer's grip on the men's game and achieved his lifelong ambition of being world #1 in 2011. One of the proudest moments of his career came at the 2012 London Olympics, when he carried the flag of his beloved Serbia at the opening ceremony.